In 2017 and 18, seekers from all over the globe gathered at Ghana Shantivanam, the world's largest heartfulness center near Hyderabad in India. They came together to intensify their practice of meditation and also deepen their understanding of 10 guidelines for daily living that form an integral part of the heartfulness movement. These 10 maxims were written in the 1940s by the great spiritual scientist Ramchandra of Shahjahanpur, affectionately referred to as Babuji. They were the result of Babuji's lifelong spiritual practice, observation of the vibratory patterns of nature, and direct experience under the tutelage of his guide, Lalaji Maharaj. Babuji offered a simple method called Sahaj Marg, or the natural path, as a means for spiritual evolution. A heart-based meditation practice assisted by yogic transmission. The sessions at Ghana Shantivanam were conducted by Kamlesh T. Patel, or Daaji, global guide of the heartfulness movement. At bedtime, feeling the presence of God, repent for any wrongs committed unintentionally. Beg forgiveness in a supplicant mood and prayerfully resolve not to allow repetition of the same. When we set out to achieve the goal of human life, we seek to remain forever in the remembrance of God. We call God by many names: the Great Being, the Ultimate, the Great Master. If the idea of the Divine is firmly established in our hearts, we are not likely to do anything wrong. Yet, there are occasions when we may make mistakes.
Why do we make mistakes? Do we analyze most mistakes which are committed? Why do we make mistakes? You want things quickly? You have a greed, you have ego. You fight with someone, especially the dearest ones, out of ego, and then later on you repent. Ego is number one culprit. Number two, desires. You want things so fast and you mess up with this speed. But to provoke this ego or invoke this ego and play out your desires or greed will be absent if contentment was there. That's why some of you might recall the dialogue between Raja Janak and Ashtavakra. The very first sloka, very first dialogue between them, Raja Janak asks Ashtavakra, the great sage, how can I achieve moksha, liberation? How can I remain detached? And this great sage starts like, in the cricket they have the first ball and the sixer. He starts with a sixer. He answers in a sloka, I can't repeat it, but few words that I recollect I have written: Kshama arjo santosh satyam and daya. If you develop these qualities, you're guaranteed to arrive at a state of liberation. And one of those qualities he mentions here is the state of contentment. Rest is just the outcome of all that. content heart, I think, it's sure to be safeguarded against all the repetitions of mistakes. So we have to cultivate the seeds of contentment in our heart. See. To me, when I analyze my daily activities, I find the most important loss to me was when I am not absorbed in Him. I have to make a U-turn only. Just reconnect yourself. When you understand the importance of remaining connected with the great Master, and the loss is perceived in the heart, automatically your heart will cry out, what did I do? Where have I gone wrong? So immediately, even before the bedtime, you will make a course correction during daytime itself.
So the moment we realize we have made a mistake, there is an opportunity to correct ourselves. This is a responsibility we have towards ourselves, that the moment we come to know of a wrongdoing on our part, we rectify it. Yet, we may find that some wrongs have been committed unintentionally. For this, we offer prayer to God with an attitude of humility.
It's a fact that when we do offer a prayer, it's a proclamation from our side of insufficiency from our side, see, unsuitability from our side, unfitness from our side. That my Lord, I am not fit. Please help me. And when I address Him as my Lord, automatically the bhava, the emotion, the sentiment develops in our heart of surrender and acceptance of Him as He is. We offer prayer when we feel unworthy. We expose our helplessness through prayer. My Lord, I am helpless about this matter. Please help. But a person who remains arrogant and continues to bashfully believe that I make no mistakes, I know everything in life, he can't be helped. He can't offer prayer. Even though he may repeat these words 5 lines or he cannot become prayerful. When we start with such a statement, my Master, with the feeling that my Lord, then immediately what happens? You're dissolved. Egolessness prevails. There is no me speaking. Even when I offer prayer, it's not about me, it's about us. Next thing in this, that when the mistake is committed, we are not trying to hide, we are exposing it. And this requires acceptance that yes, I made this mistake. And why are we doing all this? Why am I accepting? Why am I repenting? Why am I resolving? So that I don't repeat the same again. There's one single purpose. I want to transform myself. I want to become pure and simple so that I can remain at the feet of my beloved.
It is also considered better to do this at bedtime, because one is then free from all engagements, and the only point of view is that of rest and repose. In other words, one finds oneself in a comparatively free state. This freedom may also be interpreted as nature's state of contentment. Thus, in a way, we acquire conformity with at least one of the aspects of nature. This is the reason why prayer at bedtime is more effective, and actions done accordingly are all well adjusted. We must therefore derive the greatest benefit from time and take up the work suited for the hour.
Confession is totally meaningless without the support of resolution, making sure that you rectify and purify your acts and behavior and thoughts. Without this backing of resolution, confession is important. It cannot transform us.
The importance of not letting the idea of yourself being the doer is stressed in this maxim. The attitude of doership leads to imperfection and arrogance, whereas the attitude of servitude or bhakti bhav attracts the attention and grace of God.
In the entire maxim, Babaji does not talk about prayer, but he talks about prayerfulness. Often we make a mistake of offering prayer before bedtime without doing this. We offer the prayer and we think that my job is done. But Babaji is not insisting on offering prayer here. His prescription is very clear. He says at bedtime, feeling the presence of God, repent for any wrongs committed unknowingly, unintentionally. Beg forgiveness in a supplicant mood and prayerfully resolve not to allow the repetition of the same. Prayerfully resolve not to allow the repetition of the same. Begging forgiveness from God also makes us responsible somehow in forgiving others. If you expect forgiveness from God, it should start with us. I must forgive first. Scan through all day's activities and see where we have gone wrong. Alternatively, we can also understand this concept of imperfection. When we consider negation as a state of perfection, staying away from negation is imperfection. Negation is a sign of lowliness. If we are not connected with this negation, that means it is imperfection. So the whole maxim is driving us towards one thing, remaining more and more of less and less, becoming zero.
The goal is the highest, and though time seems short, the potential of humanity to reach such high states is not wanting. When we resolutely surrender ourselves to God, our path becomes easy.
Then one becomes eligible to be at the feet of the Lord. All these maxims are there. If followed with zest, makes one witness this Upanishadic statement of moving from unreal to real, from darkness to light.
You are invited to meditate on the maxim to reach a personal understanding of it. Internalize the words so that hidden facets and nuances of meaning may unfold within. Practice it so that its efficacy can be genuinely witnessed.